What if I told you the world's cutest teddy bear look-alike wasn't a bear at all? What if that fluffy little face hid a creature that sleeps 20 hours a day, survives by eating poison, and, oh yeah, has a national STD problem? That's right, koalas, Australia's most adorable disaster. They look like plush toys, but they sound like demons. They live off eucalyptus smoothies that would kill you, and somehow became walking health warnings. So the question is, are koalas lazy fluffballs, misunderstood survival experts, or just nature's funniest mistake? Welcome to Wildlife Lounge, where wildlife meets wonder with a side of wit. And in today's episode, we're going deep on the koala. From eucalyptus addictions and predators you'd never expect, to myth-busting drop bear legends, shocking survival stories, and yes, we'll talk about the chlamydia. But first, let's figure out what a koala really is. Koalas aren't bears at all. Their scientific name, Phascolarctos cinereus, literally means ash-coloured pouched bear, which sounds like a medieval insult. But in reality, they're marsupials, closer to wombats than to any bear. Imagine a wombat that climbed a tree, stayed there, and evolved into Australia's laziest icon. And where exactly does this so-called icon live? Only in the most exclusive neighbourhood in Australia. Koalas live in eucalyptus forests across eastern Australia, and they're picky. Out of over 700 eucalyptus species, they'll only eat around 40. That's like saying you'll only dine at restaurants with a Michelin star. If there are no trees, there are no koalas. And with deforestation and bushfires hitting hard, their real estate market is looking grim. But the real kicker isn't where they live, it's what they eat. And here's where things get weird. Eucalyptus leaves are toxic, tough, and about as filling as cardboard. For us, it's like chewing on cough drops dipped in bleach. For koalas, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their gut bacteria are superpowered detox machines, but it comes at a price. Almost no energy. That's why koalas spend 18 to 22 hours a day sleeping. They're basically in a permanent eucalyptus hangover. And here's the shocker. Researchers say koalas might actually get slightly high off the eucalyptus toxins. So yes, your favourite fuzzy marsupial is basically stoned 24/7. Pair that with the fact that nearly half the population carries chlamydia, and suddenly these cuddly cuties sound more like Australia's messiest soap opera. Oh, and when they do make noise, forget cute squeaks, they bellow like demons. Imagine a grizzly bear choking on a leaf blower. Go ahead, Google koala screams later, I dare you. So they sleep, eat poison, and scream like monsters. But who's actually crazy enough to hunt them? Koalas don't have many natural predators. Dingoes, pythons, and even big owls sometimes try. But the real killers, bushfires, habitat loss, cars, and dogs. Still, don't underestimate them. Corner a koala and you're in for a bad time. Razor claws, sharp teeth, and a scream that'll make you rethink life choices. They may look like teddy bears, but they fight like gremlins. And speaking of gremlins, let's hit the rapid-fire weird facts that make koalas one of the strangest animals on Earth. Koalas' fingerprints are so human-like, they've confused police at crime scenes. They can sleep anywhere, including on your head, if you happen to be standing in the wrong place. Joeys, baby koalas, start the size of a jelly bean and live in mom's pouch like marsupial Airbnb. And yes, up to 50% of them carry chlamydia. I told you we'd get back to that one. So let's actually dive into that, because it's one of the strangest and most serious facts about koalas. Yes, koalas really do have a massive chlamydia problem. In some wild populations, up to half of all koalas are infected. How? Scientists think it's been around for centuries, spreading mostly through mating, but also from mother to joey. And it's not just awkward, it's devastating. Chlamydia in koalas can cause blindness, infertility, and even death if untreated. Now here's what you're probably wondering. Can humans catch it? The answer is no, not the same strain. The chlamydia in koalas is a different species than the one in people. You'd need extremely close contact for there even to be a risk. And honestly, if you're getting that close to a wild koala, you've got bigger problems than an STD. So yeah, cuddly as they look, koalas are carrying more baggage than an airport carousel. And as if that wasn't enough, Australians had to go and invent an even scarier fake version, the infamous drop bear. Enter the drop bear, a mythical meat-eating, tourist-hunting version of the koala. Supposedly, they drop from trees to ambush hikers. Total hoax, but so famous that even the Australian Museum has a fake fact page about them. It's basically the national prank. So no, koalas won't leap onto your head from above, but if they did, you'd remember it forever. Now, speaking of battles, what would happen if we threw a koala into a scientific showdown? Koala versus sloth, both tree huggers, both painfully slow. The sloth has stealth and algae camouflage, the koala has wolverine claws and a bad temper. Odds are, the fight ends in a draw, because they both fall asleep before round 2. But their real battles weren't against animals, it was against us humans. To indigenous Australians, koalas symbolised wisdom and patience. For European settlers, they symbolised profit. Hunted nearly to extinction for their fur, by the 1920s, millions were killed. Today, thankfully, koalas are national icons, plastered on coins, souvenirs and tourist brochures. But nothing shaped modern koala history like one viral story. In 2009, during Australia's devastating bushfires, firefighter David Tree came across a badly burned koala. He offered her water, and the image of that moment went viral worldwide. The koala, nicknamed Sam, became a symbol of resilience and the global face of wildlife rescue, proof that even the fluffiest animals can represent survival and hope. But enough about history. Let's talk about the weird powers koalas still hide today. Super lungs that let them bellow like monsters way bigger than they are. Fingerprints so close to ours they could frame you for a robbery. And digestive systems tough enough to turn poison into lunch. So after all this, how much did you actually learn? Alright, let's see what stuck. Are koalas bears or marsupials? What plant do they depend on, even though it's toxic? And what's the mythical Aussie monster based on koalas? Drop your answers below, and while you're at it, tell me, if koalas had one extra superpower, what should it be? Flying, laser eyes, or just the ability to eat something besides eucalyptus? Thanks for hanging out in the Wildlife Lounge. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe for more wild deep dives. And remember, sometimes the cutest animals have the weirdest secrets.